Lion brand Wool Ease Recycled the same yarn as their regular Wool Ease? Today we are taking a closer look at these two yarns to answer that question. For the purposes of this video, I am using a skein of Wool Ease in the color Succulent, and I'm using the color Royal Blue. I may also be bringing in a floppy skein of the color Linen and a new skein of the color Cream. So right off the bat, you can see from the label that these two yarns have the same specs. They both claim to be a medium weight 4. They both suggest a J10 or a 6mm crochet hook. They are both made of 80% acrylic and 20% wool, but in the case of the recycled, those fibers are both recycled. They both say that they are machine washable and dryable, and they are both made in Turkey. For the purposes of this video, I will not be testing their washability and dryability. I'll just be looking at how they perform and the weights of yarn. One more thing to note is the yardage or the meterage. The original Wool Ease is 3 ounces, as is the recycled. Same thing with the grams, but in the Wool Ease, the standard Wool Ease, it is 197 yards and 180 meters versus 196 yards and 179 meters. Will that make a difference? Let's find out. The first thing that I want to do is weigh these balls. This claims to give us 85 grams. Let's find out. Okay, so this one comes in at 88 grams. What if we take off the ball band? So I'll just use the ball band from the Cream so I can zero it out and make sure that that's not part of our calculations. All right, when weighing this yarn, it comes in at 85 grams. Perfect, that is right on target. Now we'll just slip off the ball band of the recycled and check that one. 85 grams exactly. Well done to Lion brand. Thank you. You are giving us exactly what you claimed to give us there. Now, weights of yarn are measured in wraps per inch. So the next thing that we need to do is wrap this yarn and see how many wraps we can get gently in 1 inch. I'm going to start with the linen of the regular Wool Ease, and we'll just start wrapping. All right, so that's fairly gentle, and we are getting 3, 6, 9. 9 wraps per inch, maybe 8 wraps per inch on the Wool Ease. Now let's try the Wool Ease Recycled. So for the Wool Ease Recycled, we have 12 wraps per inch. So now the question is, if one of these yarns gets 12 wraps per inch and the other gets 9 wraps per inch, should they both be classified as a yarn weight 4? Well, the answer is kind of simple and kind of not. According to the Craft Yarn Council website, you need 9 to 12 wraps per inch to qualify as a 4-weight yarn. However, a 3-weight yarn or a DK weight yarn has a range of 11 to 15 wraps per inch. So technically, this ball of yarn still does qualify as a 4-weight, but in my opinion, based on those ranges, I would qualify it more as a 3-weight. But let's go to the hook size, let's work up a swatch, and let's see what we can see. Our 2 samples. No real surprises here. With my tension, maybe not a whole lot of difference in the height, and definitely a difference in the width. You can see how side by side the recycled Wool Ease is definitely looser when using that 6.0mm hook, and the regular Wool Ease is a lot thicker. Let's do a quick measurement. So this swatch, which is about 12 stitches. For me and my gauge, it's about 3 3/4 inch and 3.5 on the recycled. And then in terms of height, we're right at 2 inches on the regular, and we are actually we are just under 2 inches on the recycled. So we're missing about 1/4 inch both ways. All right, just for the sake of being thorough, let's measure the weight. So in our regular Wool Ease, it's coming in at 3 grams for this little sample. And our recycled, it's also coming in at 3 grams. So that actually kind of makes sense that the weight of these would be similar, because in terms of what's on the packaging, it does say that these two are the same weight. The difference, however, is in the thickness of the yarn. So even though this yarn is not as thick, it's a little bit denser. And so perhaps in the regular wool ease, there's a little bit extra fluff in there, and it's spun a little less tightly. Maybe this one's just a bit tighter spun. So that way you're getting more of what I would consider more of a DK weight yarn, a size 3 yarn, versus a size 4 yarn, the Aran worsted weight here. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. Let me know in the comments below, are you a fan of wool ease? Are you a fan of wool ease recycled? Have you worked with either or both of these in the past? And what do you think about the technicality of wool ease recycled being listed as a 4 weight? Let me know in the comments below what you think. And if I'm not your cup of tea, thank you so much for listening this long. I do appreciate you, and I do hope I'll see you again soon. Bye!